The Queer Principles of Ktt Webb is a 2021 historical male-male romance heist novel, which I listened to through my library app. It gives me a chance to really kind of just go outside of my comfort zone. I'm not somebody who reads romances very much. This is actually I'm reading these in out of order. I started off with the Perfect Crimes of Marion Hayes, which is actually the #2 book in this series, which I will get back to because it somewhat answers a couple of my gripes or questions about this novel. So in this novel, there's a it's a love it's I guess primarily it is a love affair between this Lord Percy, Lord Holland, who goes to a kind of out of the business highwayman, Ktt Webb, and tries to hire him to rob his father who is a bastard who has really abused him all his life, and is now, it looks like, is going to be completely messing up his life and the life of the woman that his father has married, Marion Hayes, and had a child by. All of that is up in the things, and this father, he's surrounded by armed guards at all times. He is a big heavyweight, treats his tenants horribly, but is, well secure. So Percy is kind of looking for some way to get some leverage on the guy, and this is why he has come. This is why he comes to Ktt. He comes to Ktt. You get the, it is very kind of lightly sprinkled with historical details. Doesn't really make me think that this is happening in sort of like around the 18th century, somewhere in that realm of things. It feels a little bit more like kind of window dressing. You get the viewpoint of both Percy, kind of this highborn guy, and Ktt Webb, who is very much grunt, kind of working class kind of guy, who's actually now has, because he is wounded, he can't ride his horse because of his leg. He is opened a coffee house, and the majority of the movie is Percy both courting him to be to hire him to help rob his father, and also courting him. And when this progresses this way, the 95% of this book is all just lead up to, oh, are we going to actually do the heist? And the heist itself, I say it's a heist novel, like that's the window dressing for the romance here, but this is definitely heavily weighted towards the romance. The heist itself, the planning, the how you're going to do it, all that is like, we get that done and out of the way because we're getting back to smooching and other stuff that happens between these two guys, and you have a reasonable amount of heat between them. There is the problem that there's no kind of, well, is it a problem? There's no particular danger between these characters. Right up front that they're super attracted to each other. Right up front what their motives are. There's no this like, oh, because Kitt's friends are like, this guy is the son of a lord, which Ktt has reason to have grievances with. It's like, this guy is probably going to be setting you up, and you can't trust him. But as a reader, which you've got full access to both points of thing, you don't know. There's none of that like, oh, he seems super hot, but you don't know. And it's that kind of mystery, or kind of the heat that might have been built from that. Completely not there. That both of these guys are into each other. So it's kind of drama free that way, which could be a negative, if that's what you're going into it for. But it could also just be, it's immensely kind of like a comfort read. It's two guys finding each other and loving each other and supporting each other and having hot sex together. That is just the kind of like, it's not a thrilling read. It's not a dramatic read. It's a kind of comfort read. It's hot cocoa. If you, hot guys having hot sex, kind of hot cocoa. If that's your kind of a read. It's like, even like the character who might be the villain, who is the father, hardly gets any time in the novel. you don't really get a sense of him or the kind of the danger of him. It doesn't get really built up at all. And I mean, there's a little bit of difficulty at the end, but it's just like it's not there, so it's not there. The two, the two figures that probably loom more the most, other than Kit and Percy, are Marion, the wife of the father, who's definitely up to some stuff, and Rob, who is the Kit Webb's partner, who apparently has died, and his kind of him he kind of looms over this novel, and so, and you kind of like, oh, okay, well, that would be a little bit more. Now, having read the second novel first, I know that in some ways Cat Sebastian was just like, oh no, I'm going to just tell these two character story, and that in the second book you get some stuff about Rob, you get a lot of stuff about Marion in that book. Though yet again, the husband is it's you don't get a ton about him again. So there is that kind of thing of like, I'm wondering, like, is there going to be a third book that's going to be a POV from the father's point of view? I don't know. I that might not be possible. I'm just trying to think about how things turn out after the second book. I can't remember. I don't think so. Or maybe it's a prequel. I don't know. So it's a very kind of enjoyable, not as, but it's not actually hot and steamy kind of romance. It's very much more kind of comfort read between these two guys. There's not much about the kind of the heist itself. There's the physicality. There's some sword fighting in there, which is entertaining. There's just Kit teaching Percy how to fight, which has got some nice kind of. There's kind of a bit of a steamy kind of just the physicality of fight training, kind of in there. But yeah, and just a lot of stuff which is very much kind of bromides about him, Kit, Percy taking care of himself, or finding out what kind of a true man he is, and being able to open up, and kind of all the stuff, which is, sounds very contemporary versus historical romance, but historically accurate. But we're not really here for that sort of thing. There is, and I do enjoy, because sometimes with the whole lord and ladies and how romantic about that stuff is, this book definitely takes the viewpoint of, no, we are the servants, we are the serfs, we are the people who are crushed under the boots of all these people who've amassed this great wealth on the backs of poor people, and screw them. It very much has that working lower class kind of viewpoint about lords and ladies. It's like, screw them, they can go suck it, and we're going to take what we can from them, and we're going to feel fairly morally justified doing so, which yet again is very much the contemporary coming in to this historical fiction, but it's historical romance, fantasy kind of, wish fulfillment, happy stuff. So yeah, that is my thoughts on. Oh, can I find the picture again? Yes. On, and here's the two lovers off over a hot cup of coffee, kind of having smoochy times of, yes. So that's my that's my thoughts on the queer God damn it, the Qr Prncpls of Ktt Webb, by Cat Sebastian. All right. I've been Jay. More videos later.